What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn, Gervonta Davis. Get this. Hearn says big U.S. fights on the horizon for Conor Benn, says offer made to Gervonta Tank Davis. Conor Benn is apparently the most wanted fighter in America, according to his promoter, Eddie Hearn. To that end, the Matchroom Boxing head wants to pair the conventional Benn with another big name, named Gervonta Davis, the Baltimore puncher who is arguably the biggest American-born boxing star in the sport. Shortly after Benn defeated Pete Dobson in Las Vegas, numerous fighters lambasted Benn for failing to knock out the unheralded opponent. Benn was on the string of high-profile knockouts before he tested positive twice for the banned substance performance-enhancing drug clomiphene in late 2022. Benn has continually maintained his innocence, but has been unable to clear his name without the regulatory bodies in his native England. As a result, his last two fights have been taking place in the U.S. Okay, and Hearn has confirmed that he would present one to Davis in an interview on Wednesday. He said, "We're thinking America for that," Hearn said of a potential Davis versus Benn fight in a video uploaded on Matchroom Boxing. He said, "You've got two fiery characters. Gervonta is an outstanding fighter, super featherweight, really coming up to light heavyweight and boxed at 140, but has never boxed at 147. That's a really rough fight for Conor Benn. Gervonta is a pound-for-pound great, but I like the size advantage in that fight. It would be the first time, as I said, for a couple of fights that he would be fighting someone smaller than him, but he can really crack. He's an outstanding fighter. It's a big ask for Conor, but this is what he wants, those kind of tests. I think Gervonta Tank Davis and Conor Benn is a fight that can really light up America and the UK. He will be getting an offer today. He'll probably publicize that offer as he does on Instagram. And we went to try to make that fight. Conor is bang up for that fight. Bang up for former welterweight champion Errol Spence. Honestly, Conor Benn will fight anyone, but it's our job to make sure the reward is there. A fight like that against an American superstar would be massive to him." And let me counterpunch. Conor Benn versus Gervonta Tank Davis. This is what I wonder. Why is it that Conor Benn has a bad performance or a mediocre performance and then gets called out by Gervonta Tank Davis versus Devin Haney having a great performance, a shutout performance against Regis Prograis, one of the most avoided former welterweight champions of the world, and don't get called out at all. He gets ducked. Because remember, Devin Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis was once a thing. Then all of a sudden, that just fizzled out, okay? It fizzled out, and then you're like, okay, well, what happened with that, Davis? You know, then he becomes Muslim. Then he threatens to slap Showbiz the adult. Right? Then he says his name is not whatever. Now he's supposed to be calling out Conor Benn. So I just find that strange. You know, you pick the guy that didn't look great to fight him versus the guy that looked great and not fault him. I just don't like that. Because, I mean, that's becoming too familiar in the sport. Simply because you have a fighter that looked good, fight him. Why would you fight a fighter that looked bad? And then there's another question. Where will it be fought at? You think Gervonta Tank Davis is really going to 147, though? Hell no. It's going to be some type of catch weight, probably at 142, 143. Okay, that's probably where it's going to go, to be fair, at Conor Benn coming from that weight class. You know what I mean? It's going to be some type of concession, rehydration, catch weight bullshit. That's what it's going to be. I mean, this is the Davis we're talking about. Davis is a guy that wants everybody to fight at a weight limit or a weight class that's either non-existent or hard enough for the other fighter not to show a good performance. Which, why would you want that? Where's the competitor of you? That's what shows you when you have a bully in there versus an athlete. See, you can have a bully that's athletic, but you can have also a guy that is athletic, but actually he's just a bully. Because he wants things his way. He wants, hey, you know what? Let me see how far I can weight drain that fighter, you know what I mean? And see how bad he looks. Then I'll fight him. That's a bully mentality. That's not an athlete mentality. That doesn't have the competitiveness of an athlete. An athlete wants to challenge himself. An athlete don't want to, hey, all right, wait a minute, man. We're going to have a rehydration clause and we have to put that in. No. You know, and it makes all of these smaller guys that moved up in weight supposedly like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, Money Mayweather look very good. And it gives them a bad name because he's supposed to be a superstar, and I think that's the problem. You know, maybe if he didn't get all that money with, you know, ticket sales and stuff like that, he wouldn't have that attitude, you know, or that access, you know, to do the things that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Gervonta should fight these guys at their desired weight. He's shorter, he's thicker, okay? But that doesn't mean he's too small because he's shorter and thicker. If you got guys like Manny Pacquiao fighting at 147, bro, that's coming from 105, dude, what is your excuse? Now, I say the same thing about Lomachenko. Lomachenko stopped at 135, and I disagree with that. I'm like, yo, you could have kept going too. So I'm not just bringing and leaving Gervonta Tank Davis in this little circle by himself. No, there's other fighters that I am very disappointed in. But here's the thing. Davis actually has the punching power to move up, to equalize the weight class that he's going to, along with the speed and the agility and the talent and all that other shit that he has, without all that other stuff that he doesn't need. He needs to throw it out of the window. Okay, so with Davis, I feel Davis, you know, in Conor, they're going to offer him something, but it's going to be a rebuttal. It's going to be sent back because it's going to be a problem with fighting at 147, and I can tell you that. It's going to have to be at some catch weight. Now, the question is, will Conor Ben take it? And I think Conor would, because Conor's trying to make a name for himself, and he's trying to get the big fights. You got Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, and you know what I mean? And then Davis needs a profile fight somewhere. So, yeah, it's probably more than likely going to be Davis-Ben, because Ben looked not good in his last fight. It didn't look great, so he looked beatable. He looked like a guy that didn't look very, very accomplished and prepared, honestly, right? So, yeah, let's pick him. So, Conor Ben, I know he's wanting that ching-ching ever since the Chris Eubank Jr. Negotiations fell through due to clomiphene and all that other jazz, right? So, yeah, I think he's looking for a fight. And whoever wants that type of cash, you know, which will make you millionaires, hey, let's do it. You know, let's do it all the way around. Okay? Let's go for it. So, yeah, I think, you know, if there's any catch weight, it would go. But nonetheless, we do have the lightweight division, or the lightweight, light welterweight division coming alive again. You guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn, Davis, and Conor Ben. Of course, please subscribe. Let's get it in bars. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!